What kind of a spy do you think you are, Satchelfoot? What are you tailing me for? Cat got your tongue? Come on out. Come out, whoever you are. Step out in the light and let's have a look at you. Who's your boss?
Ja, zum Teufel nochmal, was ist denn da los? Sagen Sie, was fällt denn Ihnen überhaupt ein? Sind Sie deppert? Ja, Sie meine ich, schauen Sie nicht so blöd. Eine Frechheit ist das, mitten in der Nacht so einen Krawall zu machen.
Harry.
Eine Frechheit ist das, so einen Krawall zu machen.
That is what I believe to be the best entrance in all of film history. Orson Welles coming out of the shadows with that wry little smile. This is, right now I have it as my second favorite movie, but it could be second or first, and sometimes it's third or fourth. But I'm doing the top 100 movies of all time for a film buff, which is what I am. I'm not a film critic, just a film buff. I like good films. And The Third Man from 1949 is one of the best. A lot of people think this was directed by Orson Welles. It was not. It was directed, I think, by Carol Reed. Welles had a hand in the writing of the screenplay. I'm going to bring up a note here. And he did not actually direct it, and he did not write the story. I think that was Graham Greene. Welles just helps out. So why should you watch this movie? That's what I'm going to do with all these, give you an idea of why you should watch this. That scene you just have Orson Welles is when that's halfway through the movie and you start to fall in love with him all the way as a character right then. The thing is, Orson Welles is stealing antibiotics from children, which is causing them to die. He's killing kids. The premise is that he's dead. And his friend Holly Martins, who's played perfectly by Joseph Cotten, another one of my favorite actors, he's supposed to come out and help him with a project Harry Lime, played by Orson Welles, is working on. So he gets out there and he finds out Lime's dead. He's been killed in a car accident, and there was 2 people that carried the body away. But some of the witnesses said there's a third man. Well, that turns out, of course, to be Harry Lime, Orson Welles. And again, that scene you just saw was halfway through the movie. The other thing you should watch this for, it's the cinematography on this is fantastic. The scene I just showed, but there's a scene near the end. There's no spoilers in this movie. Harry Lime, Orson Welles' character, dies at the end. He dies. Joseph Cotten's character kills him. It doesn't matter. You can know all that. This is so good, it doesn't matter. It's not a spoiler. The movie is still perfect because you don't know how he's going to die. You have a suspicion it's coming, but you don't know how. You don't know what's going to transpire, and maybe he will get away with it, and that's where you are going to feel a little bit dirty. Why are you rooting for this guy? It is the best of the best. It's by some considered film noir. Is it a thriller? It's just like nothing I've ever seen before. It's a masterpiece, and it's a perfect movie. The cinematography is perfect. It's spectacular. The theme song that you hear over the part where Lime is showing himself for the first time, that plays throughout the movie and just fits perfectly. We're going to see Orson Welles on my list a few more times as this goes on. He's made some fantastic movies. When you'll notice you're not going to see in my top 2 is Citizen Kane. For a long time, that was considered Welles' best work and one of the best movies of all time. I like this movie so much better. I like a lot of movies better. But I'm just a film buff, a guy that likes movies. So when we get into our next one, and I'm starting out this list with my top 1 and 2 because nobody wants to watch through 100 of these to find out what the number 1 movies are. This is one you should check it out. It's a masterpiece, and it's one that you can watch a couple times and really, really enjoy. If you watch it and you fall in love with it like I did, this is one you should probably add to your Bluetooth collection. Or Blu-ray collection, I'm sorry. It's just so good, and I'm afraid these kind of old movies are going to die off soon, and this is one you don't want to miss. My second movie, my favorite movie, and this is just for right now, and it's been this way for a year or two, is, of course, Casablanca.
A little something of my own.
Oh, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, don't.
You played it for her, you play it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it.
And that, of course, is Casablanca, and we all know what he's going to play. He's going to play it again, Sam. The movie is just another masterpiece, and this is my favorite. I think I've seen the movie 20 times. It never gets old. Humphrey Bogart is everywhere in this movie emotionally, and it just fits. He's so angry at times. He's so despondent at times. He's happy at times. At the end, he'll kill people at times to get what he wants, and other times he's a soft heart. Casablanca is, for a lot of reasons, widely considered the greatest movie of all time. Made in the middle of World War II, and I think that context is why it's so big and has remained so big. They're just this one isolated little group. That is in the midst of the war, but it's not really affecting them with the guns and the shooting and the tanks. Mrs. Miniver is another movie shot during World War II in the middle of the war, but this one is perfect. Humphrey Bogart is, if you see some of these actors today, George Clooney comes to mind, Brad Pitt, and the way they behave, that all comes from Humphrey Bogart. When Bogart got to Hollywood, he was already wealthy. His family was well known, very well off. He knew how to dress. He was a classy guy. And he had done a lot of I just watched one of him where he plays a bit part in an Edward G. Robinson movie. Kind of a tough guy. Maltese Falcon, another movie I didn't like at first. It grew on me over time. Bogart really shows his acting in this movie. And I think between this and Treasure of the Sierra Madre, you can see Bogart can act. He's not just the tough guy. When you get to the Caine Mutiny, which is coming up real soon here, also a movie I think as highly regarded as it's underrated. It is perfect. It is a masterpiece. But Casablanca is the one. You enjoy it every time. You can put yourself in different characters and you can see things through their eyes. Nobody's making good decisions. It's Claude Rains' character in it also is just perfect. It just gets better and better every time you see it. So if you're new to movies or if you're younger, why should you see this? First and foremost, just historical context, just because it is so highly regarded. Secondly, you can see even in the most awful of times, there are little areas of civility in the world. And even with a guy that seems to have it all, because Bogart does, he owns a nice bar, he's famous, he can have a different gal every weekend. He's just being ripped apart by the love of this girl, and what is he going to do for her? At the end, it's a pretty famous movie. There's a lot of discussion. What is the ending about? And I think when you watch some of the other scenes of Bogart, especially when Sam tries to get him just to go, let's just get out of here. You don't need this trouble. Is it a suicide mission at the end where he's just bringing Claude Rains along for the ride? Or is he now back in the fight and he's going to go win and whatever happens, happens, but he knows what the right thing to do is? I don't know. I'll waffle back and forth between each one. But those are my two favorite movies right now, favorite movies of Film Buff of all time. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you check both of these out. These are my top, I think, 30 are indisputably. Everybody seems to like them. So we'll get to 3 and 4 next, and we'll round out the top 10. Hopefully, I'm going to do 1 or 2 of these a week if I can. My channel is about IT management and project management. This is something I just really enjoy doing. So, The Third Man, probably one you haven't seen before. Casablanca, watch it again. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching.